गुड इवनिंग टू ऑल ऑफ यू। कैसे हैं सब लोग? सो लेट मी स्टार्ट द टुडे टॉपिक, लास्ट क्लास ऑफ द इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट, अगेन डे 2 फॉर द प्रैक्टिकल प्रॉब्लम। ठीक है। सो टुडे आई एम टेकिंग द क्वेश्चन नंबर 15 बिकॉज वी हैड टिल क्वेश्चन नंबर 14 इन द लास्ट क्लास। ठीक। सो Q Enterprises is not required to register under CGST. However, it applied for voluntary registration on September 17th. A registration certificate has been granted on 25th September. Fine. The CGST and SGST liability of the firm for the month of September 2000 September is 24,000 each. ठीक है। Firm is not engaged in making any interstate and outward supply. Okay. Q Enterprises providing the following information regarding the capital goods and input held in stock by it as on 24th September. First, you all required to tell me, first, you all are requested to tell me what is the relevance of 17th, 25th और 24th. आप लोग मुझे बताएंगे कि 17, 25 और 24 की क्या रिलेवेंस है। फर्स्ट टेल मी व्हाट इज द रिलेवेंस ऑफ दिस डेट। आप मुझे पहले बताएं व्हाट इज द रिलेवेंस ऑफ दिस डेट। विच डेट? 17, 24 एंड 25। वन मिनट है। व्हाट इज द रिलेवेंस ऑफ दिस डेट? 17, 24, 25। व्हाट इज द रिलेवेंस? So fine, I can say because we are talking about voluntarily registrations, we are talking about the voluntary registration. In section 18, we have discussed ITC in case of the special circumstances. ITC in case of special circumstances. So, in the ITC special circumstances, we have discussed that if you have taken the voluntary registration, if you have taken the voluntary registration, then if we have taken the voluntary registration, then the liability to take the registration is not relevant because he is not required to liable. The date when the certificate is granted, the day when the certificate is granted, that is the effective date. And therefore, we know that 25th September become the effective date of registration. And what is the use of the effective date? What is the use of the effective date? We know that the stock before that, whatever the stock lying in the hand prior to that date, we would be able to take ITC. We would be able to take input tax credit. क्लियर हुआ ये वाला बात? एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट. ठीक है. सो फर्स्ट टेल मी another question. Can we take the ITC on input service, capital goods, in case of the input also, semi raw material, WIP, finished goods? मुझे आईटीसी किसका मिलेगा? ओनली इनपुट, इनपुट प्लस इनपुट सर्विस, और ऑल द कंपोनेंट इनपुट, इनपुट सर्विस एंड कैपिटल गुड्स? And my question is, can I take the ITC of input, input service, capital goods, only input, or input plus input service, or all three? My question is very simple. We would be able to take ITC of all the component, or only input, or input plus capital goods, or something like that. We know that section 18 subsection 1 clause B talks about the person जिसने voluntarily registration लिया है, he can take the ITC जितना भी उसके पास स्टॉक है ऑन द डे, जस्ट इमीडिएटली प्रिसीडिंग द डेट ऑफ लाइबिलिटी टू टेक रजिस्ट्रेशन. नो, डेट ऑफ ग्रांटिंग ऑफ द सर्टिफिकेट. ITC on input need to be availed on input, input service, or capital goods. The answer is only input. Absolutely correct. We can't take the ITC on capital goods. We can't take the ITC on input service. It says that the details of the stock. What is the detail? It says that input procured on 2nd September lying in the stock, 4,500 CGST, 4,500 SGST. So we can take the ITC of that one. We can take the ITC, right? So let me open one Excel sheet. So I can say I would be entitled to take the ITC of input, right? And what is the CGST? What is the SGST? What is the IGST? 4,500, 4,500. Then it says that input received on 21st July containing the semi-finished goods held in the stock. CGST 7,500 and SGST 7,500. So one point, we can take the ITC of input only, but input can be contained in the raw material, can be in the WIP, can be in the finished goods. All components are allowed. Correct. We know that we cannot take the ITC of input service, we cannot take the ITC of capital goods, but yes, in the input, ITC contained in raw material, semi-finished goods, or finished goods, we would be able to take the ITC of all these components. Correct now? So I'm adding input received 7,500 and 7,500. Input received on only contained in semi-finished goods. Input received on what is the next component? The next component is value of the input contained in the semi-finished goods, in the finished goods held in stock, 2 lakh rupees. Such input were procured on 19th September last year. Invoice for the goods were also issued on the same day. It means the invoice for that finished goods has been issued on 19th September last year. Is there any problem? Or is there any problem, or it is okay? Is there any problem or it is okay? Is there any problem or it is okay? अगर लास्ट ईयर 19 सितंबर का है तो क्या कोई प्रॉब्लम है या इट इज ओके? आई विल टेक द आईटीसी. I will take the ITC. Please confirm. Should I take the ITC or should I not be able to take the ITC? क्या मैं ITC ले पाऊंगा या नहीं ले पाऊंगा along with reason? Yes. 18 subsection 2. 18 subsection 2. It talks about that invoice should not be older than 1 year. Because what is the date of mandatory effective date of registration? Sir, 25th September. If your invoice has been issued prior to 1 year before, older than 25th September last year, so I can say it is on 19, so ITC would not be available. I have received one answer only before 30th September next year. We are not talking about, my dear friend, we are not talking about section 37 subsection 3. We are not talking about the credit note. We are not talking about 34 subsection 2. We are talking about we can take the ITC of the stock lying on the hand on the effective date of registration. Input, but input service, in capital goods, no, only input. In that, we have discussed one thing, that invoice on which you are taking the ITC under special circumstances should not be older than 1 year. Clear na? Everyone. Okay? So because it is older than 1 year, so I cannot take the input tax credit. Let me move further. Further, it says that invoice valued at 50,000 procured on 30 September lying in the stock. ठीक है ना? अगर 50,000 का है इनपुट जो कि 13 सितंबर है, अभी तो 24 मतलब लास्ट 10 डेज का इनवॉइस है, सो नॉट ए प्रॉब्लम. Is it IGST? Yes. Any doubt? Then last is capital goods procured on 12th of September. We have discussed one thing, that we can take the ITC on only input, not capital goods under 18 subsection 1 clause B, only input. So therefore this capital goods का ITC नहीं मिलेगा. Could you please tell me when the ITC of capital goods is permissible under section 18? मैं कैपिटल गुड्स का आईटीसी सेक्शन 18 में कब कब ले सकता हूं? वेरी सिंपल क्वेश्चन. इन द सेक्शन 18, ITC in case of the special circumstances, when I can take capital goods का ITC. So the total ITC which I can say is this much of the amount. Now, यहां तक कोई डाउट? ओके. Composition to regular, exempt to taxable. Very nice. All the three are right. Mohammed, Geeta, and Prerna. All are absolutely correct. So, composition to regular या exempt to taxable, I would be entitled to take ITC of input as well as capital goods under section 18, subsection 1, clause C and the clause D. In this question, we have calculated that how much is the ITC available. Now, what is required to be calculated? क्या पूछा क्वेश्चन ने? You are required to compute the net GST payable from cash by Q Enterprises for the month of the September, assuming the condition for availing the ITC are fulfilled. You are required to mention the reason for the treatment of all the above items. So you need to mention the working note. Fine. What is the tax liability? So they are saying the tax liability is 24,000 each and only not interstate supply. Not interstate means I can say they are having the liability of CGST 24,000 and a similar amount of SGST would be there and no liability under IGST. Very simple. Now, this is the ITC. Okay, fine. You tell me if I have the tax liability. So same, I can make my own table. So the liability is IGST nil, CGST 24,000, SGST 24,000. And what is the ITC? ITC under IGST is 9,000. CGST is 12,000 and SGST is same 12,000. Very simple question. Very simple question. You have to tell me first amount where I have to write. मुझे पहला अमाउंट कहां लिखना है? Assuming it is 1, assuming it is 1, it is 2, it is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. आप मुझे बता दीजिए वेयर आई नीड टू राइट माई फर्स्ट अमाउंट. मुझे पहला अमाउंट कहां पर लिखना है एंड हाउ मच, दैट यू नीड टू टेल मी. We all know that it is nothing but the cross utilization of input tax credit, correct? First amount I have to write here 4 and 7. क्या 4 and 7 में 4,500 देना कंपल्सरी है और आई कैन गिव 9,000 और 0? Can I give in this manner or can I give in this manner? Or I have to compulsory give 4,500, 4,500? Ravi, आपसे क्वेश्चन है. You have given almost right answer, but I am asking one counter question to you. क्या ये 4500 मुझे डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करना पड़ेगा? या आई हैव द चॉइस? Correct. So there is an concept of distribution of I का excess ITC between C and S, any order, any proportion, any manner. Correct? So I can say here, absolutely correct. We can give any balance. So I can give 9,000 entirely here. I can divide 4500, 4500. That is acceptable. I can give 0 to C, entire to S. I have the choice. Now, because it has the very lesser amount, 12,000 and 12,000. So balance liability I का nil है. C का, it would be 3,000. It would be 12,000. ना? So अगर मैं इस हिसाब से डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करता हूं, let's say if I'm distributing in this manner, what happen? I can distribute 9,000 here, then 12,000. Obviously, they will come, they will take from its own account. They will take from S. What is the balance? Balance liability which need to be discharged is correct. So if I will divide, let's say 0 to here and 9,000 completely here, then I can say the output tax liability which I need to discharge in cash, it would be 15,000. It can interchange the head. It can be depend upon the allocation of I between C and S. You all are clear. So I'm not required to spend any more time on this. You all are clear. So I think this is question 15 is done. Question 15 is done. Let me move to the question 16. कोई डाउट है तो बता दीजिए. इफ यू हैव एनी डाउट काइंडली लेट मी नो. ठीक है. उषा, रवि, गीता, प्रेरणा, मोहम्मद, एवरीवन, विराज. चलो सर आगे बढ़ते हैं. इट सेज दैट बीएनडी कंपनी ए पार्टनरशिप फर्म registered in Nagpur is a wholesaler of the taxable product P and product Q. Product P is taxable and the product Q was exempted. याद रखना Q exempted है. The firm supplies these products only in the eastern part of the Maharashtra, within Maharashtra. All the procurement of the firms are from the supplier registered and who is registered under the regular scheme in the state of Maharashtra. I can say purchase as well as sale is within Maharashtra. BND company has furnished the following detail with respect to the turnover in the stock. P turnover for the quarter 30 June 60 lakh and product Q is 70 lakh 65,000. What happened total? What is the total? 77 lakh 65,000. Turnover for the quarter 30th September. What is the total? 67 lakh. ठीक. So कितना हुआ टोटल? 1,44,000. Sorry. Uh, it is 67. It is 77.65. ठीक है. So I can say 1 crore 44 lakh 65,000. Is it? 1 crore 44 lakh 65,000 is the total amount. ठीक है. Total amount of the sale for the quarter till 30th September. Now they are saying stock. Stock as on 30 June इतना है. 30 सितंबर इतना है और एज ऑन 31 अक्टूबर इतना है. सो दे हैव गिवन द 3 डेट. What is the relevance of these 3 date? We will discuss. But yes, we have the stock on these 3 date. ठीक है, आगे बढ़ते हैं. The entire stock of product P and Q available with the firm as on 30th September is purchased during the said half year, except the consignment of the product P valuing rupees 3 lakh, which was purchased in the April of the preceding financial year. जो इसमें स्टॉक है उसमें 3 लाख का स्टॉक इन द मंथ ऑफ अप्रैल परचेज हुआ है. द सेड स्टॉक कुड नॉट बी सोल्ड ड्यूरिंग द मंथ. सेड स्टॉक कुड नॉट बी सोल्ड ड्यूरिंग द मंथ ऑफ अक्टूबर. इन द करंट फाइनेंशियल ईयर इन द मंथ ऑफ अक्टूबर नो परचेज वर मेड. याद रखना है, ये अंडरलाइन कर लीजिए, कोई भी परचेज नहीं थी. And the product was sold with a profit margin of 20% on sale, exclusive of GST. Till now, we are reading the question. We'll spend 5 or 10 more minutes and then we'll start the solving the problem. Now they are saying, take a margin 20% on sales. The extract of bill book maintained by the firm is showing the following details. They have given the value exclusive of tax. 1 अक्टूबर को इतना सेल है, 2 अक्टूबर को इतना है, 3 अक्टूबर को इतना है, लाइकवाइज. What is the relevance? We'll discuss. All the above are exclusive of tax wherever applicable. Compute the ITC to be credited to the credit ledger of B&D company when it exit from composition and become liable to pay the tax under regular. कब? So we have to tell the date. We have to tell the date when this ITC is credited to the electronic credit ledger when it exists. तो कब इसे स्विच करना पड़ेगा? When, which date he has to switch compulsorily from composition to regular. We all know what is the maximum threshold limit. एक और क्विकली बताना. Under section 10 subsection 3, what could be the maximum threshold limit? Quickly tell me. Under section 10 subsection 3, 10 subsection 1, what could be the maximum threshold limit? And 10 subsection 2a, please tell me, इसमें मेरा मैक्सिमम थ्रेशोल्ड लिमिट कितना हो सकता है और 10-2a के केस में मेरा मैक्सिमम थ्रेशोल्ड लिमिट कितना हो सकता है? अंडर कंपोजिशन आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट. टेन सबसेक्शन 1 में और 10 सबसेक्शन 2a में कितना थ्रेशोल्ड लिमिट है? इज दैट अपर लिमिट और लोअर लिमिट? माय नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, इज दैट अपर लिमिट और लोअर लिमिट? करेक्ट. So 1.5 CR, 1.5 CR normally I can say, normally 1.5 CR. However, we know that in the special category state, the limit is 75 lakhs. स्पेशल कैटेगरी स्टेट में 75 lakhs की लिमिट है. right now, like Assam, Himachal, Jammu and Kashmir, etc. Other than, sorry, special category state other than these Assam, Himachal, and Jammu and Kashmir, because here the normal limit would apply, not the special category state wala. So it means in the Jammu and Kashmir, the limit is 1.5 CR. Now, let's say if the turnover exceed on any date, then I can say the composition scheme will lapse. कौन सी डेट से? The day on which turnover exceed 1.5 CR. टर्नओवर एक्सीड 1.5 CR. अब एक बार कैलकुलेट करते हैं और यहां पर कितना टर्नओवर बनता है. लेट मी ऑल्सो कैलकुलेट एंड यू ऑल्सो कैलकुलेट. कितना टर्नओवर बनता है? 60 लाख, 50 लाख, 17.65 एंड 17. यहां पर हमारा कितना टर्न होगा? 1.1 crore 44 lakh 65,000. Here I can say my turnover is 1 crore 44 lakh 65,000. Please add 2 lakh 3,000, 1 lakh 38,250, 1 lakh 6,250. यहां तक मेरा टर्नओवर कितना होगा? एक बार मैं आप लोगों के लिए लिख देता हूं. यहां तक मेरा टर्नओवर हो गया 149, 1 crore 49 lakh 12,500. And if I will add 92,500, so 1 crore 50 lakh 5,000. अब आपको मुझे एक बात बताना. यू ऑल हैव टू टेल मी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन. यू हैव टू टेल मी दिस पर्सन बिकम डिस्क्वालीफाई फ्रॉम कंपोजिशन ऑन थर्ड और ऑन फिफ्थ या ऑन फोर्थ. आई कैन से ये कब से डिस्क्वालीफाई हो जाएगा? थर्ड या फोर्थ? कौन सी डेट को डिस्क्वालीफाई होगा? आंसर इज द डे when the aggregate turnover exceed the threshold limit. I can say in my question, the turnover exceed the threshold limit of 3rd October. It means the composition will lapse from 3rd October itself. In other words, I can say whatever the stock lying there, whatever the stock lying there on 2nd October, whatever the stock lying there on 2nd October, यहां स्टॉक का आईटीसी मुझे मिल जाएगा. And we know that here the ITC would not only the input but also the capital goods would also be entitled. But one common point which we need to remember is 1 year invoice should not be older than 1 year. Now let's calculate the ITC on 2nd October 2000, whatever the current year. All the above are exclusive of tax wherever applicable. क्या कंप्यूट करना है? आईटीसी टू बी क्रेडिटेड टू द इलेक्ट्रॉनिक क्रेडिट लेजर टू बीएनडी लिमिटेड, बीएनडी कंपनी व्हेन इट exit from composition and become liable to pay the tax under regular in accordance with the point 18(1)(c). Make suitable assumption wherever required stock is valued at price. Absolutely correct. ठीक, perfect answer. So we need to see what is the stock See how to approach this. Here they have not given entire detail. They have only given the stock. In case of stock, the P is the taxable item and Q is the exempted item. P is the taxable item, Q is the exempted item. What we are doing? We are calculating the input tax credit. Why we are calculating the ITC? Because in the example, the taxpayer has been switched from composition to regular. Taxpayer has been switched from composition to regular as per 18 subsection 1 clause C. It says that you would be entitled to take ITC of a stock, semi-finished finished goods plus capital goods if available. But invoice should not be older than 1 year. Stock on 30th September. Taxable item, exempted we will not take. Only taxable item we will take. कितना है stock? Stock is 10 lakh rupees. ठीक है. Will we take the exempted item? Answer is no, because tax is not paid. So there is no question of ITC. What we are calculating? We are calculating the stock in hand on 2nd October. Why we are calculating the stock? So that we can calculate the eligible component of input tax credit. Now add whether, so we are required to calculate the stock lying on the 22nd October. We will add purchase and we will reduce sale. That is the simple way we need to calculate the stock on closing of 2nd October. What we will say, the opening stock plus purchase minus sale. इतना ही तो करना है हमें. अब परचेज के रिगार्ड में क्या इंफॉर्मेशन थी? In this they are saying no purchase were made. No purchase were made. अगर कोई परचेज नहीं है तो मैं कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंगली यहां पर क्या लिखूंगा? नो परचेज. Less sales. And we know that on every day we have the sale. हर दिन सेल है ना मेरी. We are calculating the values only for taxable item. So therefore we have to take the sales of product P. क्योंकि product Q तो क्या है? Exempted item है. We have to take the product P का sales. Correct? Now go and see the product P. So make a total this much of the 2 lakh plus 1,33,000 plus 67,000. I can say the total is 4 lakh. So what is 4 lakh? Selling price. Do we need to reduce selling total sales value? क्या मुझे पूरा सेल्स माइनस कर देना है या कुछ? डू आई नीड टू रिड्यूस द एंटायर सेल? क्या मुझे पूरा सेल्स का फिगर माइनस कर देना है? आंसर इज नो. वाई नो? बिकॉज वी आर कैलकुलेटिंग स्टॉक, क्लोजिंग स्टॉक. सो इस स्टॉक का सेलिंग प्राइस तो 4 लाख है, परचेज प्राइस कितना होगा? सो वी नीड टू रिमूव द प्रॉफिट मार्जिन. कैसे करूं? गो टू द क्वेश्चन एंड सी हाउ मच परसेंटेज दे हैव रिटर्न इन द क्वेश्चन. दे आर सेइंग 20%, 20% इज ऑफ सेल्स. अगर मेरी सेल 4 लाख की है तो मेरा प्रॉफिट कितना होगा? 80,000. आई कैन से 3,20,000 इज माई cost of production, cost of sale. Cost of sale. So I can say minus 20%. So this become 3,20,000 become the cost of sales. और मुझे कॉस्ट ऑफ सेल क्या करनी है? माइनस करनी है, राइट? सो हियर आई कैन से 6,80,000 is nothing but the stock on 2nd October. ठीक है. Out of which they are saying 3 लाख. क्या हो गया 3 लाख में? दे आर सेइंग कंसाइनमेंट प्रोडक्ट पी मतलब टैक्सेबल प्रोडक्ट है, विच वाज परचेज इन द अप्रैल ऑफ लास्ट ईयर. अप्रैल ऑफ लास्ट ईयर. वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट 2 अक्टूबर करंट ईयर. 2 अक्टूबर करंट ईयर का बात करें, इससे मैक्सिमम इनवॉइस कितना पुराना हो सकता है? 1 ईयर. लेकिन अप्रैल तो उससे ज्यादा है. आंसर इज यस, ऑलमोस्ट 1.5 ईयर. तो आई कैन से द स्टॉक विच हैज बीन परचेज्ड in 3 lakh rupees would not be considered for the purpose of ITC. एग्रीड और नॉट? एक बार कंफर्म करना, ये बात क्लियर हुआ? हमने यहां पर जो आईटीसी लेना है, विच वी नीड टू टेक, वी नीड टू इंश्योर दैट वट एवर द आईटीसी, we need to ensure whatever the ITC we are taking, we should take the ITC on the invoices which is not older than 1 year. In this case, this 3 lakh is more than 1 year. तो मैं क्या करूं? मुझे इसको हटाना है. So I'll simply remove. This become the stock of input on which I need to take the, in which ITC would be available. ठीक है ना? And what is the tax rate? टैक्स का रेट क्या था एक बार देख लेते हैं. Are you able to see the rate of the taxes? प्रोडक्ट पी के ऊपर कितना टैक्स है? लेट्स अज्यूम, अदरवाइज वी विल अज्यूम एट 18%. मुझे दिख नहीं रहा. माइट बी इट हैज बीन गिवन, might be it has been given, but I am not able to see. So we will assume the tax rate at the rate of 18%. ठीक है. So अगर 18% कैलकुलेट करना है तो 380 स्टॉक है ना. 380 इट इज अ स्टॉक. 380 मल्टीप्लाइड बाई 9% सीजीएसटी, 9% एसजीएसटी, कितना आएगा? 34,200 सीजीएसटी, 34,200 एसजीएसटी. इतना क्या होगा? इतना मुझे आईटीसी मिल जाएगा. इतना मुझे आईटीसी मिल जाएगा बिकॉज ऑफ स्पेशल सर्कमस्टांसेस. फॉर ईच line item, wherever possible, you need to give the working note. Whatever we are discussing. So you have added, you have not reduced, you have taken extra, you have assumption taken 18%. Whatever you are adding in the practical problem. And if it required to explain some theory, kindly add in the working note. That's it. ठीक है. So here, I think question is completed. Na? What is the question is being asking? You are compute the ITC to be credited. So we have calculated. When we have calculated 3rd October, make suitable assumptions. We have done everything. Any problem, any question, kindly ask. आपका कोई counter question, kindly ask. Fine. Let's move further. All-in-one store is a retail chain of the departmental store having presence in almost all the metro city across India. Both exempted as well as taxable goods are sold in stores. In stores, the stores operated in the rented premises. All-in-one pay the GST under regular scheme. In Mumbai, the store operator in a rented complex, a part of which is used by the owner for the residential purpose. इस इंफॉर्मेशन का क्या यूज करोगे आप? पार्ट बिल्डिंग और पार्ट इज बिल्डिंग ओन बाय द पर्सनल पर्पस. क्या यूज करेंगे आप इस लाइन? व्हाट इज द यूज ऑफ दिस लाइन? So we can say to some part they are using for personal purpose, which is nothing but the block credit. And also we can say it is non-business purpose. ITC to that extent would not be available. Fine. All in one furnish the following information for the month. Aggregate value of the various items sold in the store. Taxable 42 lakh. Item exempted 12 lakh. Item not leviable to GST 3 lakh. It is sold, sale, outward supply. It says that Mumbai stock transferred to the another Goa for the purpose of distributing the same as free sample. The value declared in the invoice is 5 lakh. Such item are sold in the Mumbai store at 8 lakh rupees. ठीक है. aggregate value of various item procured for being sold in the store. Aggregate value of the various item procured for the being sale in the store. Now this is the purchase. I can say taxable item, exempted or not leviable. So I can say it is purchase on which GST need to be, GST has been paid. Correct. Now. So I can say GST paid on taxable item. कितना था? So we can say 55 lakh. We don't know the rate, or let me see the rate first. In all other cases, GST would be 18%. RCM के केस में 5% और otherwise all other cases में 18%. Here they have not given whether it is being sold intrastate, interstate. So I'm assuming it is all taxes. ठीक है. Freight paid to GTA for inward transportation taxable at rupees 1 lakh. Freight paid to GTA for inward transportation of exempted. Freight paid to GTA for inward transportation of non-taxable item. Please tell me whether we would be able to take the ITC of all this component or not. मैं तब तक लिख देता हूं, आप मुझे बताइए whether we would be able to take ITC. Do we need to pay the GST on this item? Do we need to pay this ITC on this? Do we need to pay the GST on this item under RCM? सर जीएसटी तो बनेगा. वी नीड टू पे द जीएसटी. ओनली पॉइंट वी कांट टेक द आईटीसी. वी नीड टू पे द जीएसटी बट आईटीसी उसका नहीं मिलेगा बिकॉज आइटम इज एग्जेम्प्टेड और नॉन टैक्सेबल. क्लियर ना? इज दैट क्लियर? टैक्सेबल, नॉन टैक्सेबल और एग्जेम्प्टेड. हाउ मच इज द वैल्यू? 15 लाख. Sorry, I'm so sorry. RCM, freight paid on the GT against the inward transportation of taxable item 1 lakh. What is the rate? RCM 5%. ठीक है. RCM on exempted item, they are saying inward transportation of exempted item 80,000. Can they take ITC? Answer is no. ITC not available. So, but I need to put the amount in the calculation of tax liability, where that at that point of time we need to add, so I am writing here. मैं रिपीट करता हूं, आरसीएम ऑन exempted item or taxable item or non-taxable item, we need to pay the GST under RCM. Only point, if the item is taxable, I can take the ITC. If the item is exempted, I can't take the ITC. Correct, na? And what is the non-taxable component? 20,000. So I can say how much is the tax liability? This much, but I can take the ITC, no problem. Let's move further. Monthly rent payable. Monthly rent payable for the complex is 5,50,000. Monthly rent payable. Now 5,50,000. कितना टैक्स इसका? 18%. ठीक है, बट इसका 1/3 पोर्शन क्या है? इसका 1/3 पोर्शन क्या है? पर्सनल. So I'm putting additional information at the same place so that we can compile in the question. Now they are saying activity of the packing the item and putting the label of the stores along with the sales price has been outsourced. Amount paid for the packing is 2,50,000. Packing material 2,50,000, and how much is the ITC? 18%. How much is the ITC? 18%. Correct. ना अभी तक कोई confusion नहीं है, right? Taxable exempt, no. ठीक है, ठीक है. Correct. Then salary paid to the regular staff. Salary paid to the regular staff. Regular staff means it is not the contractual staff, it is the own employee. And do we need to pay the GST on salary? Answer is no. Why? Schedule 3, entry number 1. Schedule 3, entry number 1. Now, GST paid on input used for personal purpose. ITC on input for personal purpose. How much? 5,000. Can we take the ITC? Answer is no. We can't take the ITC, but let put here. Can we take the ITC? Answer is no. We know we can't take the ITC, but I'm adding here so that I can calculate my total ITC. I can calculate my total ITC. तो फिर तो मुझे ये भी ऐड करना पड़ेगा ना, राइट? एक बार तो मुझे ऐड ही करना पड़ेगा ना. See, we know that question is for rule 42. We need to calculate the reversal of input tax credit as per rule 42. What we need to calculate, एक बार पढ़ लेते हैं क्या क्या कैलकुलेट करना है. ITC credited to the electronic credit ledger, common credit कितना है? C2. ITC attributable toward exempt supply, I can say D1 out of the common credit. Eligible ITC out of the common credit, it means D1 minus मतलब C3 हम calculate करेंगे. So we need to go to the rule 42. And rule 42 talking about, first they are talking about the calculate the total credit, out of which we will give the name T1, T2, T3, T4. एक बार क्विकली बताना, T1 stand for T1 का मतलब क्या था, T2 का मतलब क्या था, T3 का मतलब क्या था, T4 का मतलब क्या था? प्लीज कैलकुलेट एंड और प्लीज टेल मी what is the T1, what is the T2. I'm just talking about the nomenclature. अभी ये क्वेश्चन कंप्लीट हो जाएगा तो आपको मुझे एक्सेल शीट में सभी के सामने नाम लिखना है कि इसमें कौन सा टी है, T1 है, T2 है और T3 है, ये आपको मुझे बताना है। बट पहले मुझे आप बताइए कि इनका मतलब क्या होता है, टी का, T1 का, T2 का, T3 का, T4। टी का मतलब टोटल क्रेडिट, इसमें एग्जेम्प्ट भी है, टैक्सेबल भी है, नॉन जीएसटी भी है, सब कुछ है इसमें ना। अगर जीएसटी पे किया है तो टोटल इज द टी, out of which what is the T1, out of which what is the T2, out of which what is the T3, and what is the T4. T1 is the ITC which is exclusively used for the non-business activity, ITC which is exclusively used for exempt supply, ITC which is block credit, and ITC which is exclusively for taxable. Why we are reducing? So that we can calculate the common credit. So that we can calculate the common credit. Now go one by one. अभी यहां पर आपने जितने भी नाम पढ़े हैं, जितने भी वट एवर द आइटम वी हैव डिस्कस्ड, कैन यू टेल मी T1, T2, T3, T4, have you identified any item which we can say T1, T2, T3, T4 out of the total amount which we have discussed till now? जितना भी आईटीसी टैक्स लाइबिलिटी, जो भी हमने टैक्स पे किया है, क्या उसमें से कोई कंपोनेंट T1 है, T2 है, T3 है, T4 है? कैन यू प्लीज टेल मी? मैं वेट कर रहा हूं, वंस यू गिव द रिप्लाई देन ओनली आई कैन प्रोसीड। T1 is the ITC, non-business activity, exempt supply, block credit, taxable supplies। चलेगा, बहुत बढ़िया कीर्ति। अब आपको आप सभी लोगों को मुझे बताना है कि इसमें क्या कोई T1 है, T2 है, T3 है, T4 आउट ऑफ दिस लाइन आइटम विच वी हैव डिस्कस्ड। चलो ठीक है. So 5,000 is taxable ना. 5,000 is taxable. Correct. So I can give the name as T4. GST paid on the taxable item. I can say it is T4. Right? Exempted item. Can we take the ITC of the exempted item? Answer is no. T1. मैं एक बार यहाँ पे लिख लेता हूँ. What is the T1? Non-business. What is the T2? Exempted. What is the T3? Block credit. What is the T4? Fully taxable. ITC on the RCM which has exempted item. Can we take the ITC? No, we can't take the ITC. It is nothing but the T2. सेम टैक्सेबल नॉन टैक्सेबल आइटम के ऊपर आईटीसी आपको नहीं मिलेगा बिकॉज विच इज एक्सक्लूसिवली लिंक टू द एग्जेम्प्टेड आइटम. मंथली रेंट पेबल आउट ऑफ विच 33,000 इज द पर्सनल. हाँ, आप इसको ये भी बोल सकते हैं पर्सनल के लिए है तो नॉन बिजनेस एक्टिविटी है. आप इसको ब्लॉक क्रेडिट भी बोल सकते हैं. लेट्स से आई एम यूजिंग दैट इट इज नथिंग बट द T1. ठीक. पैकिंग मटेरियल. The packing material, it is fully taxable na. It is fully taxable or it is common because it has not been written that it has been used for exclusively taxable item. We can say it is like common only. Salary paid not applicable. ITC on the personal purpose, we can say again either T1 or you can say ITC is not available on the block because of the section 17 subsection 10. Now let's further move. अभी क्या बोल रहा है? जीएसटी पेड ऑन रेंट ए कैब फॉर ट्रांसपोर्टेशन ऑफ एम्प्लॉय which is not obligatory under any law. If you are using the cab for the transportation, ITC not available. But if it is compulsion under any other law for the time being in force, you can take the ITC. Of these rent a cab जो भी मैंने एम्प्लॉय के लिए यूज किया है, बट इन दिस केस इट इज क्लियरली सेइंग इट इज नॉट ऑब्लिगेटरी, सो आईटीसी नॉट अवेलेबल. हाउ मच? 4,000. क्या नाम दूं मैं उसे? T1, T2, T3, T4. What should I give the name? T1, T2, T3, T4. It is block credit. So completely it is T3. What is the last? GST paid on the item given free sample. ITC on free sample. How much? 4,000. Again, as per 17 subsection 5 clause H, you can't take the ITC, goods lost, stolen, destroyed, or free sample or gift. So I can say my total input tax credit is 1157,000, which is T. Now, what is T1? T1 is the non-business activity. T1 is the non-business activity. हमने क्या पढ़ा? T1 में कौन कौन है? T1 में एक 33,000 है, प्लस T1 में एक 5,000 है. तो जो आ चुका उसको मैं कलर कर देता हूं. Which I have used, I am coloring it. What is the T2? T2 is nothing but the exempt supply, right? What is the T2? T2 is nothing but the ITC, which is exclusively linked to the exempt supply. Correct? So 4,000 and 1,000. आपको याद है ना exempt का definition? Section 2 clause 47. You remember section 2 clause 47? Exempt supply include three items: exempted by notification, nil rate of the tax, and non-taxable supply. So here, if it is non-taxable, then it is also exempted. It is exempted, then it is exempted. Exempted by notification is an exempt supply. Non-taxable is also the exempt supply by virtue of the definition given in the section 2 clause 47. कितना हुआ? 5,000. फाइन. यहां तक क्लियर है? यहां तक कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, राइट? एनी डाउट? Any doubt till now? No. T3. T3, I can say it is block credit. So, हमारा T1 भी यूज हो गया, T2 भी यूज हो गया, एंड T3 भी यूज हो गया. If I will apply the formula C1, you remember C1? C1 is equal to T minus T1 minus T2 minus T3. अब T4 क्या था? एक्सक्लूसिवली ब्लॉक क्रेडिट. नहीं, एक्सक्लूसिवली टैक्सेबल सप्लाई. 9,90,000 and 5,000. This is T4. What is the C2, which we can say the common credit to be apportioned? C1 minus T4. C2 is equal to C1 minus T4. 1,11,000. यहां तक किसी को कोई डाउट? Please ask, please tell me. Till 1,11,000, do you have any doubt how the common credit have been arrived at? How the common credit have been arrived at? So, if you are saying 66,000, something like that. So correct, this is monthly rent, which is the total 99,000, out of which 1/3 is the personal item. ठीक है. 2/3 would be the can be used for taxable, can be used for exempted. So it fall under the exempt supply. Exempt and taxable common credit में fall करेगा. तभी तो ये हमारा common credit कितना आया? How much is the common credit? 111. So 111 में क्या होगा? 66 ये होगा, 45 and 66. Make it total. It is 111. So you can directly calculate in other way. So कॉमन क्रेडिट, विच इज द कॉमन क्रेडिट? सो जो एक्सक्लूसिवली लिंक्ड है उनको तो हटा दिया। 6099 में कितना? 66,000 कॉमन क्रेडिट, एंड दिस इज 45,000, मेक इट टोटल 1,11,000। यही तो आंसर है हमारा। दिस इज द आंसर दैट वी हैव कैलकुलेटेड इन अनदर वे। वी हैव कैलकुलेटेड इन द वे इन विच द फॉर्मूला हैज बीन गिवन इन द रूल 42। ये हमने कैसे कैलकुलेट किया? वी हैव कैलकुलेटेड इन द मैनर इन विच द फॉर्मूला हैज बीन गिवन इन द रूल 42, राइट? अभी कुछ पार्ट बचा है क्या इसका? नहीं ना। कॉमन क्रेडिट हमने कैलकुलेट कर ली, 1,11,000 C2। ITC attributable toward exempt supply out of the common credit. What is the formula? So we need to calculate the exempt supply and taxable supply. In that ratio we will distribute. Question says that is manufacturing company registered under GST in the state of UP. It manufacture two taxable product alpha and beta. Sorry, question was 18. It says that ये रहा. So the taxable item is 42 lakh, exempted by way of the notification is 12 lakh. So first tell me, will this 3 lakh be added in the exempt supply? इस केस में exempt supply कितना है? 12 लाख या 15 लाख? इस केस में exempt supply 12 लाख या 15 लाख? इस केस में exempt supply कितना है? 12 लाख या 15 लाख? मतलब रेशियो क्या निकलेगा? 15:42 और 12:42. Exempt supply कितना है? Will I add this 3 lakh in the exempt supply? This is my question to all of you. Answer is 15 lakh. Now, one is 15 lakh. ठीक है. Then read the clause to Mumbai store transfer to another all-in-one store of Goa. For the purpose of distributing the free sample, the value declared on the invoice is 5 lakh, but such item are sold 8 lakh rupees. Do we need to add in this? Question number 1. What is my total sale? 42 plus 12 plus 3. यहां तक मेरा कितना आया? 57 lakh आया. Do we need to add this 5 lakh or 8 lakh? What is the relevance of 5 lakh or 8 lakh? Do we need to add? First question, do we need to add this sale because of the item number 2? Do we need to add in the total sale which we are calculating? क्या मुझे ये 5 या 8 का फिगर डू आई नीड टू ऐड? The answer is yes, I need to add, because we know in the GST there is a concept of schedule 1, entry number 2. We know that there is a concept of schedule 1 para 2 which talks about supply between distinct person or related person. Supply between distinct person or related person, whether it can be goods or can be services, will be treated as supply even without consideration. So answer is just I need to add. Now question is 5 or 8. कितना ऐड करूं, 5 या 8? What amount we need to add, 5 or 8 lakh? The answer is because the rule 28 will come into the picture, which says that. So second proviso says that value declared on the invoice will be deemed to be the open market value. Perfect. So it means 5 lakh could be the open market value, but it imposes one condition. What is the condition? You tell me, probably you all have read the value of the supply chapter. Please tell me, we can take the 5 lakh as the open market value. Any value declared on the invoice will be deemed to be the open market value, but there is one condition. What is the condition? There is one condition. What is the condition? You tell me that in the rule 28, we know that if I have declared in the invoice any value between distinct person or related person, rule 28 would come into the picture. Any value declared on the invoice will be deemed to be the open market value, provided recipient should be eligible for full ITC. In this case, they have transferred the stock for what purpose? They have transferred the stock for what purpose? Free sample. Can you take the ITC on the free sample? Answer is no. It is blocked in 17.5H. This free sample, etc., ITC blocked as 17.5H. So you can't take the ITC. The full ITC is available. No. Then rule 28, it says that open market value, you have to take the open market value. So what is that? 8 lakh is the open market value. So what is the total sale? 42 plus 12 plus 3, 15, which is exempt supply, plus 8. I can say total turnover is the 65 lakh. What is the total turnover? 65 lakh. What is the exempted turnover? 12 plus 3, 12 plus 3, 15 lakh. Correct. So D1 is equal to C2 multiplied by E divided by F. What is the E? Exempted turnover. What is the F? Total turnover. C2 multiplied by E divided by F. So 25,615 is nothing but the D1. D1 is the ITC attributable towards the exempt supply, which you need to reverse. And C3 is the C1, C2 minus D1. कितना था? 111, out of which you need to reverse this much. And therefore, you can take the remaining portion, 85,385. Correct? So the answer to this question, I can say that net यहाँ क्या कह रहा है? ITC credited to the electronic credit ledger, we have discussed common credit. C2 की हमने बात कर दी, 111. ठीक है. ITC attributable toward the exempt supply, we have discussed 25,615. इतना ही था ना? 25,615, right? And then उसके बाद में net GST payable from electronic cash ledger for the month of opening balance of the ITC. Now this part we need to calculate. Eligible ITC we have discussed. कितना था? 80 85,385. So till point number D we have done. Now last net GST payable from for the cash ledger. You have to tell me. टैक्सेबल आइटम ये है और टैक्स की रेट क्या है, एक मिनट नीचे जाते हैं. सो दे आर सेइंग टैक्स रेट वुड बी 18% फॉर ऑल अदर केसेस. ठीक है. अब हमें कितना टैक्स पे करना है, वी नीड टू कैलकुलेट. टैक्स पेबल at the rate of 18% on total sale. What is the total sale? 42 lakhs. What is the total sale? 42 lakh, right? एक सेकेंड. 42 लाख इसका कितना परसेंट? मल्टीप्लाइड बाई 18%. एक मिनट, कोई डाउट, कोई क्वेश्चन? So when D2 has to be calculated, if they are saying the ITC, see, in this case, in the given case, they have completely tell how much is the T1. कितना T1 है उन्होंने बता दिया. If the question is giving some hint that ITC being used, common ITC is being used for the purpose of business purpose and non-business purpose, then in that case, we need to calculate 5% C2 ka. Suppose they have given the fact that has been given that 1/3 portion of the building has been used for the personal purpose. Suppose they have not given 1/3 portion. They have simply given some of the ITC has been used for the business as well as non-business purpose. In that case, we need to calculate D2. D2 कब calculate करना है? Based on the hint of the question, we need to calculate D2. Is that clear? ठीक है. Fine. Let me move further. So here tax payable is 42 lakh 18%. Again, stock transfer for free sample. How much is the stock transfer? कितना वैल्यू था? 8 लाख हमने माना था ना, 8 लाख. एंड इसका कितना हुआ? 18%. तो टोटल टैक्स लाइबिलिटी, एंड ये किसका हुआ? ये मेरा फॉरवर्ड चार्ज का हुआ, राइट? हाउ मच इज द रिवर्स चार्ज? हमने ऑलरेडी कैलकुलेट किया था, राइट? सो जस्ट लेट मी, 3 आइटम के ऊपर था, आईटीसी ऑन आरसीएम ऑफ टैक्सेबल आइटम, एग्जेम्प्टेड आइटम. सो कितना लाइबिलिटी? फॉरवर्ड चार्ज का है 9 लाख का, और कितना लाइबिलिटी आरसीएम का है? 10,000 का. टेल मी, कैन वी यूज, एंड टोटल आईटीसी कितना है? हाउ मच इज द टोटल आईटीसी? इज इट 85,385? नो सर. सो द टोटल आईटीसी इज C3 जो कॉमन में से एलिजिबल पोर्शन है, प्लस D4 जो पूरा एलिजिबल था. ये एक बार बताइए, ये समझ में आया ना? ये समझ में आया ना कि कैसे कैलकुलेट हुआ? सो हाउ मच इज द टोटल एलिजिबल आईटीसी? एक तो कॉमन का एक पोर्शन जो C3 था, कॉमन का एक पोर्शन C3 था, वो हमने ऐड किया, और ऊपर जो हमारा पूरा T4 था, दैट इज नथिंग बट फुल्ली एलिजिबल आईटीसी. So I can say the total this much. I can say the total of T4 plus C3 is my eligible ITC. Is it okay? ठीक है. अब हम बात करते हैं. So because we have not bifurcated into CSI, so we will assume that it is my totality I need to calculate. So less ITC kitna? 1085. So I can say yes. We will have the no liability to be paid in cash and carry forward of ITC कितना हो जाएगा? Carry forward of ITC हो जाएगा मेरा ये. Do I need to pay anything under RCM in cash? Answer is yes. पूरा का पूरा 10,000 मुझे कैश में पे करना पड़ेगा. So जो लास्ट क्वेश्चन पूछा था, जो लास्ट पार्ट था वो क्या था, एक बार रीड कर लेते हैं. लेट मी रीड. नेट जीएसटी पेबल फ्रॉम कैश फॉर द मंथ इफ ओपनिंग बैलेंस. सो कैश लेजर फॉरवर्ड चार्ज के अकॉर्डिंग नील है, बट आरसीएम के लिए मुझे 10,000 कैश में पे करना पड़ेगा. इज इट क्लियर? सो फ्रॉम माई साइड दिस क्वेश्चन इज डन. एक बार कंफर्म करो आप लोग, इज इट क्लियर टू ऑल और एनी डाउट यू मे आस्क. पूरा क्वेश्चन क्लियर हो गया? इज देयर एनी डाउट यू मे आस्क? Is there any doubt you may ask regarding this? I have done the question. Question number 18 अपना complete हो गया. Now we will move to the 19 after the break. So do one thing. Let's take a break of 15 minutes. Let's take a break of 15 minutes, or we will resume at 9:45. We will start question number 19 at 7:45. 7:45 पर 15 मिनट बाद पर हम 15 मिनट का ब्रेक लेते हैं. देन वी विल स्टार्ट द डिस्कशन वंस अगेन. अशोक जी स्टार्ट कर दीजिए. So now we are moving to the question number 19. So question number 19 is on the almost same pattern. So, but let me solve that question. You are requested to give the reply in the same manner. First, read the question. One's shop is a retail, both taxable and exempted item. So it means the question of the rule 42 would come into the picture, 43 would come into the picture. Registered in the state of Rajasthan. He has furnished following detail. Taxable supply is 50 lakh, exempted supply 10 lakh. So the total sale is 60 lakh. Details of goods purchased for being sold in the shop. So let me at least write these facts. Correct. Na? So taxable supplies, how much is the 50 lakh. Taxable supply is the 50 lakh. And exempt supply, that is E, is 10 lakh rupees, right? And total supply, which is being called as F, the total supply is N. So it is E and it is F. ठीक. So details of the goods purchased for being sold in the shop. Taxable goods 45. Taxable goods कितना है 45 लाख. ठीक है. और goods not leviable to tax, so exempted goods it is 4 lakh. ठीक है. But do we need to pay the GST on the 4 lakh? Answer is no, because it is exempted. ठीक है. एंड टैक्स का रेट एक बार देख लेते हैं. ऑल द अमाउंट आर इंक्लूसिव ऑफ ऑल टैक्सेज. All the inward and outward supplies are within Rajasthan. So uh, from or to Rajasthan, it means it would be C plus S only, right? Now it would be C plus S only. ठीक है. And assume wherever applicable for the purpose of reverse charge, the rate is 5% and CGST, SGST is 6612. There is no opening balance in the ICL, credit cash ledger or credit ledger subject to the information. Assume that all other condition has been satisfied. You are required to compute the following. क्या क्या compute करना है? What is the calculation? ITC credited to the credit ledger, common credit apportionment, ITC attributable toward the exempt supply, and net GST payable. So almost same thing which we have calculated in the last question, we have to calculate in this also. Almost same thing. Correct? So the rate is, how much is the rate? Rate is 12%. Correct? So rate कितना assume किया इसने? 12% assume किया. So we were there at taxable goods. So CGST, SGST, and IGST. Correct? So it is 6%. So will there, because item is exempted, so the tax rate would be 0. Then they are saying monthly rent payable for the shop. Monthly rent payable. It is, क्या क्वेश्चन है? Monthly rent payable 3 lakh. 50,000 multiplied by same 6%, CGST 6% SGST. We know that the GST normally on the rent is 18%, but for the time being, we are assuming 12% as per the assumption given in the question. Next is telephone expenditure. 30,000 bill for landline phone installed at shop and 20,000 toward the mobile phone bill for the employee. And mobile phones are given to the employee for the official use. So there is no problem. We can take the ITC on the phone, whether it is landline or it is mobile, because it is exclusively used for the office purpose only. Okay. Any question? Now, audit fees paid to the chartered accountant. How much? 35,000 filing for the income tax return, and statutory audit 25,000 for the GST return. So 3 to 5 picture 35 plus 25, it is 60,000. Audit fees कितना हुआ? 60,000. Again, we will assume the rate is 12% on. Correct? Correct, na? Kirti Mohammed, Geeta, Usa, Ravi, please confirm meanwhile, so that yes, we all are at same page. ठीक है? Then next is premium paid on health insurance policy. Premium paid on health insurance policy as per the company policy. So I know that we can take the ITC. Am I right? Can we take the ITC on the health insurance? Because it is as per the company policy. Can we take the ITC? Just confirm, can we take the ITC on the health insurance? GST paid on the premium of health insurance policy as per the company's policy. Answer is not available. Not available. Why not available? Because we know as per section 17 subsection 5 clause B subclause 1, ITC on the life insurance and health insurance not allowed, except if it is mandatory requirement as per any other law for the time being in force. Okay. Initially, that when the COVID was there, at that point of time, Disaster Management Act was amended. So in that, at that point of time, when the policy was incorporated in the Disaster Management Act, and any company has taken the life insurance or health insurance of the employee during the COVID period, the time within which the Disaster Management Act was changed, it was only for the limited number of days. So अगर उस टाइम किसी ने हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस या लाइफ इंश्योरेंस लिया था, तो उसका आईटीसी मिल जाता. अभी वर्कमैन कंपनसेशन एक्ट के कारण कोई इंश्योरेंस लेते हैं, उसका आईटीसी मिल जाएगा. अदरवाइज नॉर्मली इट इज नॉट अवेलेबल. करेक्ट. नेक्स्ट इज फ्रेट पेड टू जीटीए, taxable 5% for inward transportation of goods not leviable to tax. So RCM on GTA for exempt supply. How much? 1,50,000. उसका 5%. But can we take the ITC? Again, answer would be no. We can't take the ITC. So, because it is exempted or Transportation of taxable goods. So sorry. It is transportation of taxable goods, right? And they are saying 50,000 is the not exempted item. So let's say 50,000 is the exempt supply and 1,50,000 is for the taxable item. This ITC is not available. ठीक है. So एक सेकेंड, हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस टेकन. ठीक है, मैं लिख रहा हूं. Probably it would work. अगर कहीं काम आएगा तो it would be help, otherwise not. So I think we have covered all the item. Is it clear? So this much of the eligible ITC. Let's move further. Goods given free sample not included in the taxable goods value. तो जो फ्री में सैंपल दिया है कितने का, 5,000 का, क्या उसका आईटीसी मिलेगा? आंसर इज नो. उसका आईटीसी कितना होगा? ऑब्वियसली 125, बट इसको मैं साइड में रख रहा हूं. ठीक है, बट बिकॉज वी हैव गिवन इट इज नॉट इंक्लूडेड इन 45 लैक्स. क्या था 45 लाख? 45 लाख वाज द टैक्सेबल गुड्स, परचेज टैक्सेबल गुड्स का. तो इसके अलावा गुड्स नॉट लेविएबल टू टैक्स 4 लाख था, और फ्री सैंपल में कितना बांटा हमने? 5,000 रुपए. ठीक है. नाउ दैट्स इट. We need to calculate the total ITC, out of which we will remove the T1, we will remove the T2, we will remove the T3, and then we come to the C2 common ITC, and on the common we will apply the formula of exempt divided by taxable. ठीक है. So now we need to calculate the T. ये क्वेश्चन आपके सामने है. ठीक है. Shall we start the T1, T2, T3, T4? मुझे बताइए, टैक्सेबल गुड्स है, इसके लिए मैं क्या यूज करूं? T1, T2, T3, T4. If it is taxable goods, what should I use the word? T1, T2, T3, T4. क्या यूज करूं मैं? टैक्सेबल गुड्स है. आपको मुझे सिर्फ नाम बताना है, T1 की, T2 की, T3 की, T4. द आंसर इज T4. इसको मैं क्या नाम दूंगा? आई विल गिव द नेम एज T4. एग्जेम्प्टेड गुड्स, ऑब्वियसली कोई क्वेश्चन का रिलेवेंस नहीं रहेगा, क्योंकि आइटम एग्जेम्प्टेड है, सो देयर वुड बी नो जीएसटी. मंथली रेंटल, क्या ये टैक्सेबल आइटम है? 1 to 1 एग्जेम्प्ट से है, किससे? कोई नहीं है, तो मैं इसको कॉमन कहूंगा. टेलीफोन, अगेन आई विल से इट इज कॉमन. ऑडिट फीस, अगेन इट इज कॉमन. प्रीमियम पेड ऑन हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस पॉलिसी. T1, T2, T3, T4. क्या नाम दूं मैं इसको? T1, T2, T3, T4. द आंसर इज T3. ब्लॉक क्रेडिट है ना. It is block credit. So T3. RCM on GTA for exempt supply. RCM on GTA and कौन सा item exempt supply वाला. So we can say it is T2. RCM on GTA for taxable supplies. क्या यूज करूं मैं इसको? RCM on GTA for taxable. T4. Pre-sample. Again, it is under the block credit. So, if I say my total ITC is T. How much is the non-business? Nothing is non-business because it has not been given in the question. What is the ITC on the exempt supply? I can say it is exempt supply. That RCM, I can say it is nothing but the exempt supply, which is T2. ITC on the block credit, it is given. एक तो फ्री सैंपल वाला था एंड इज देयर एनी अदर ब्लॉक क्रेडिट? वी कैन से यस, इंश्योरेंस पॉलिसीज. सो कितना है? T1 T2 T3 T 1625. आई कैन से व्हाट इज द बैलेंस अमाउंट? टी माइनस T1 T2 T3 कितना आएगा मेरे पास में? ये आ जाएगा मेरे पास में 3,01,350. 3,01,350. व्हाट इज दैट? इट इज C1. C1, I can say. Now, what to remove? Exclusively linked to the taxable supplies. First one, 270, 270, and then 3750. It is linked to the taxable, and the balance portion is my ITC, which is common credit. ITC common credit wala portion jo common, I can say the common on which I need to apply the formula. Correct? So now you have the C2 in front of you. You have the C2 in front of you. Please tell me how much is the IT. So how much is the ITC which we need to reverse? You have the taxable sale, exempted sale. 50 lakh is the taxable, 10 lakh is the exempted. You have the C2. Now calculate how much is the D1. कुछ amount अब आप calculate कीजिए. कितना D1 है? D1 कितना? अब बाकी जो चीजें है ना, वो you need to calculate. I'll just help you. You please tell me how much is the D1. अब आपको कैलकुलेट करना है. एवरीवन आर रिक्वेस्टेड टू गिव द रिप्लाई. इतना मैं कैलकुलेट कर चुका हूं. C2. नाउ यू कैलकुलेट D1. यू कैलकुलेट C3. यू कैलकुलेट द लाइबिलिटी टू बी पेड इन कैश. Everything now you need to calculate. You tell me that D1 कितना है. So I can say the formula is C2 multiplied by E divided by F. सत्ताईस 600 27,600 multiplied by 27,600 multiplied by E exempt supply. How much is 10 divided by total supply. ठीक है, तो कितना है? 4,600 is the amount of the ITC which we need to reverse because of the exempt and taxable supply as per 42. So eligible ITC कितना होगा? How much is the eligible ITC? एक तो C2 minus D1 ये कॉमन पोर्शन था, उसमें मुझे इतना रिवर्स करना है, तो बैलेंस अमाउंट आई वुड बी एलिजिबल एंड कंप्लीटली टी फोर, कंप्लीटली टी फोर। कितना टी फोर? सो दिस इज द total ITC credited to the electronic credit ledger. Now you have the sales का figure taxable 50 lakh, exempted 10 lakh, कितना लाइबिलिटी कैश में पे करना पड़ेगा? सो फर्स्ट गो टू द टॉप, व्हाट इज द टैक्सेबल सेल? रेट इज 12%, 6% CGST, 6% SGST, खत्म ना। मेरा टोटल सेल आएगा, टोटल लाइबिलिटी आएगी। हाउ मच आई हैव द ITC? आई हैव द ITC which we just now calculated, 296,750. So we have to pay 3,250 in cash. My answer is correct or not? Net GST payable is 3,250 in cash. Can I say this is my answer? Is it correct or not? Or there would be some extra liability which I have to pay? मेरा आंसर खत्म हो गया या मुझे कुछ ऐड और करना है? प्लीज टेल मी, डू आई नीड टू ऐड समथिंग और इज इट क्लियर? Is it close or do I need to add something? Right. I have to pay the tax of reverse charge in cash. I have to pay the tax of RCM in cash. कितना RCM था मेरा? एक तो exempt supply वाला था और एक taxable supply वाला था. So I have to pay 5,000 plus 5,000 CGST and SGST of RCM. So the total liability which I need to discharge 8250. Is it clear? Question is on the same pattern, so I'm not required to मतलब explain anything. If you have any doubt, kindly ask me. मैं 2 मिनट वेट करूंगा and then we will start the next question number 20. Any point which you like to, any point which you like to tell me? Thank you. Is it clear? Is it clear? क्वेश्चन 20 पे जाएं. So tell me one thing. Do you know something about export? Do you know something about export? What is LUT? What is on payment of IGST? Something like that. Do you know that concept? What is the LUT? What is merchant export? What is the something like that? Which you know? Because I have to explain that part first. What is the export of service? What is the import of service? And then I will explain. I will be able to solve this case study. चलो सर. सो डू यू नो एक्सपोर्ट? जो भी पार्ट आएगा मैं आपको साथ साथ में एक्सप्लेन कर दूंगा. ठीक है. स्टार्ट करते हैं. सो मिस्टर राजेश इज ए प्रोप्राइटरशिप फर्म in the name of Surana and Sons in the Jaipur. Firm registered under GST in the state of Rajasthan. Manufactures three taxable products M, N and O. तो तीन taxable product manufacture करता है. Tax on N is payable under RCM. So this RCM. So please tell me whether Rajesh Surana has to pay the tax under RCM or the customer will pay the tax under RCM. इस पॉइंट का मतलब क्या हुआ? Whether this person will pay the tax under reverse charge on 6 lakh or the recipient will pay the tax under reverse charge. That is my point. Kindly clarify. तो क्लियर है ना कि प्रोडक्ट M, प्रोडक्ट N and product O is the goods. The supplier, Rajesh Surana is the supplier. It means the recipient whomsoever has purchased the goods from Rajesh Surana, he will pay the tax under reverse charge on the product N. ठीक है. Turnover of M is saying excluding export sales. So it is domestic supply. It is outward RCM. Turnover of O excluding export. ठीक है. Export of M with the payment of IGST. It means we know that in the GST for export there are two possible routes. What is the possible route? First is on IGST. It means pay the tax now and subsequently take the refund as per the rule 96. Because it is of goods, because it is of goods, therefore it is automatic route. No requirement of the refund application. We will discuss in the export import chapter. Second, it says that not eligible to avail the benefit of merchant export. Do you know what is the merchant export? क्या आपको मालूम है merchant export क्या होता है? Again, I will discuss in detail in the export chapter, but let me just brief so that you would be able to understand what is the concept of merchant export. Mr. A is making the supply to Mr. B. Mr. B is making the supply to Mr. John at USA. He is from, let's say, Mumbai, and he is from, let's say, Rajasthan. A to B, whether who is the exporter, whether A is the exporter or B is the exporter. इस एग्जाम्पल में एक्सपोर्टर कौन है? ओके, LUT जस्ट मैं आंसर दे रहा हूं. एक क्वेश्चन आया है बीच में, इसीलिए आई एम गिविंग द आंसर इन बिटवीन. LUT is the letter of undertaking, is a facility for exporter to export without IGST. So let's say I am exporter or supply to the SEZ unit, same provision. If I am doing the export or supplying to the SEZ, I have the two options. Either I will pay the IGST and take the refund, or I will not pay IGST. And then in that case, they are saying you will file the letter of undertaking, which is nothing but a simple documentation online RFD 11 undertaking it. And after furnishing that, I can do the export without charging IGST. Is that clear, Akshay? Is that clear? For that, we will read Rule 96 capital A, basically one undertaking which you need to furnish. So my question was, who is exporter? Very simple. The B is the actual exporter, no doubt. Mr. B, who is the actual exporter? If A and B jointly, try to understand. If A and B jointly satisfied the condition given in the notification 41 by 2017, some are pre-export, some are post-export. If they satisfied both the condition, then A, then B, who is exporter, will also called as merchant exporter. Word पे गौर कीजिएगा, please concentrate. I'm using the exporter this time. The Mr. B, who is exporter, will also be called as a merchant exporter. And notification 41 by 2017 says A can make the supply to B, which is domestic supply, which both parties are located in India, but he can charge GST at the rate of 0.1% only. Instead of actual tax rate, he can charge the GST at the rate of only 0.1%. What are the conditions we'll discuss in the exporter chapter, or you will be explained by the respective faculty. My point is, they are saying not eligible to avail the benefit of the merchant export. Now, why they are saying so? Why they are saying so? There is very important crux which you need to write in the exam. Now, I have told you that export can be made against IGST, on payment of IGST, or on LUT. What is the benefit? LUT is the letter of undertaking. The benefit is that I'm not required to pay IGST. Here I can say the Rule 96 will come into the picture, and here it is say Rule 96 A come into the picture. Now, in the GST, export on IGST is being restricted for certain cases. Export on IGST is being restricted for certain cases, out of which I'm telling you currently one case. If the goods purchased at 0.1%, then you cannot export on IGST. Cannot export on IGST. Compulsory, it should be under LUT. This restriction is being given in the Rule 96 sub Rule 10. It says, so now in this case, I'm going back. Suppose in this case, if we procure the goods at 0.1%, this export cannot be on IGST. And therefore, in this question they are saying, on IGST, therefore they have to write not eligible. समझ में आया correlation? Is it clear? Even though I have explained only the relevant part, There is so much detail which we are going to discuss, or if it is covered in the syllabus. But I'm only saying that why they are saying not eligible, because if you are eligible, you can't do the export on IGST. It will compulsory under LUT. ठीक है ना, ये बात तो क्लियर हो गई. आगे बढ़ते हैं. लेट्स मूव फर्दर. एक्सपोर्ट ऑफ ओ अंडर LUT. सो ठीक है, 10 लाख का एक्सपोर्ट किया और विदाउट पेमेंट ऑफ IGST, विदाउट पेमेंट ऑफ IGST. कंसल्टेंसी सर्विसेज. क्लियर है ना? और शुड आई एक्सप्लेन समथिंग? एनी पार्ट प्लीज टेल मी. सो एक बार इसके ऊपर कितना टैक्स बनता है, लेट्स राइट इन द हमारा एक्सेल सीट में एक बार हम लिखना स्टार्ट कर देते हैं, सो दैट इट वुड बी बेटर. करेक्ट. सो वी कैन स्टार्ट राइटिंग, राइट. We are calculating the GST payable on outward supply. So first we are seeing that turnover of M. Correct. And what is the value? The value is 14 lakh. And what is the tax? 12%, right? In total, we need to calculate. So 1,68,000 is the tax liability. And then turnover of N. But do we need to pay the tax? No, it is outward RC. कितना सेल था? 6 लाख का. Do we need to pay the tax? Answer is no, outward RC. Turnover of O. Correct. कितना टैक्स था? Simple. What is the tax rate? Same. Assuming 12%. Given in the question, not assuming. ठीक है. Then export of M on IGST. कितना था एक्सपोर्ट का वैल्यू? 2,50,000. Here it would be IGST 12%. Correct. Sir, then there will excess asking, then there will be excess ITC with A as output is only 0.1 and inward supply at 18%. Absolutely correct. Example. Okay. So fine, no problem. Akshay, again, I cannot say whether it is in syllabus or not, and I'm not sure that, but just to give the answer, question is valid because A has the excess balance of input tax credit. Obviously, yes. A can apply the refund under inverted duty structure. So I'm saying A can go and apply for the refund under inverted duty structure. So because let's say he has purchased at high rate, 12%, 18%, he is making the supply at only 0.1. Obviously, yes, he can go for the refund under inverted duty structures. And B can also go for the refund. If he's exporting, if B is exporting on IGST, then he can go for the refund of taxes paid. If B is exporting under LUT, then he can go for the refund under refund of accumulated ITC. Is that clear, Akshay? Nice question. ठीक है. So let me move further. Then it says that export of M under letter of undertaking. Export of M under LUT. कितना सेल है? 10 लाख का. No tax. Then यहां तक हमने कंप्लीट किया था, अब आगे बढ़ते हैं। ठीक, अब आगे बढ़ते हैं, लेट्स मूव फर्दर। Then they are saying consultancy services provided to let unrelated client located in the foreign country. Why they are saying unrelated? Again, there is a twist. In all cases, the consideration has been received in the convertible foreign exchange 20 lakhs. So if you go in the GST, the section 2 clause 6 of IGST Act giving the definition of export of service, which says that five conditions has to be satisfied. First is location of supply should be India. Location of recipient should be out of India. The POS should be outside India. And then condition fourth is amount should be received in the foreign currency, or wherever RBI has given the permission, it can come in INR also. And fifth condition is that the supplier and the recipient should not be the mere establishment of the distinct person. In other words, I can say they should not be related party. In simple terms, they should not be related. So you understood why they have used the word not related. Why they've used the word not related? Because the fifth condition. Why they are saying consideration has been received in the foreign currency? Because of the condition number 3. Consultancy services given to the foreign country. So condition number 1 and condition number 2 satisfied. So only the place of the supply, you can give the assumption. We are assuming that place of the supply is outside India. Or you know the section 13 subsection 2. LOR would be the place of supply. 13.2 of IGST. अगर आपका place of the supply chapter complete हो गया तो 13.2 of IGST it says that LOR is the place of the supply. So because 5 conditions are satisfied, we can say the consultancy services is nothing but the export, and we are assuming it is made under LUT because they have not given IGST information. So I'm assuming that export of service. कितने का अमाउंट था? 20 लाख. नो जीएसटी. नो जीएसटी. अब नाउ बता, नाउ टेल मी व्हाट इज द जीएसटी ऑन सेल ऑफ बिल्डिंग, एंड अलोंग विद रीजन प्लीज गिव मी द रीजन ऑल्सो. इसके ऊपर कितना जीएसटी होगा? एंड सेल ऑफ बिल्डिंग excluding stamp duty being 2% of the value, entire consideration is received post issuance of the completion certificate. How much is the GST payable? Question number 1. Is this information is relevant for any purpose? Is this information is having any impact on the ITC? These two questions I've asked. पहला क्वेश्चन, इसके ऊपर जीएसटी कितना बनेगा? दूसरा क्वेश्चन, this information is being useful for any other purpose in the ITC chapter. Please tell. Waiting for your answer. Kindly tell me, do I need to pay the tax? Answer is no. Do I need to pay the tax? Answer is no. Building was occupied thereafter. So if you refer the schedule to para 5 clause B, which talks about that if the CC or first occupancy, whichever is later, full consideration is being given after that CC or first occupancy, whichever is later. Post occupation CC, it means after that entire consideration has been given, so it is out of GST. Second question, does it have any impact on the ITC? Answer is yes. Because of the schedule 3 para 5 clause B. Para 5 not AB, एक बार इसको रिमूव कर दीजिए. Para 5 which talks about clause A is renting of immovable property, clause B is this. It says that this will be considered as exempt supply for the purpose of reversal. So when I read the section 17 subsection 3, it says that sale of land and completed building, schedule 2, schedule 3 para 5, and which is correspondingly linked with the schedule 2 para 5b. ठीक है, so schedule 3 para 5 which talks about no GST on the building, no GST, but it will be considered as exempt supply. Now the third question, what is the value? For the purpose of exempt supply, what is the value? If you go to the rule 43, they have given that for the purpose of sale of land and building, we will take जिस वैल्यू के ऊपर आपने स्टाम्प ड्यूटी पे किया, द वैल्यू ऑन विच यू नीड टू पे द स्टाम्प ड्यूटी. हाउ मच इज द स्टाम्प ड्यूटी? 250 being 2% of the value. Reverse calculation, 2,50,000 divided by 2%. 2,50,000 divided by 2%. Sale of building, 2,50,000 divided by 2%. 1% is for securities case. 1% is for security, and in case of the sale of land building, the value on which we are paying the stamp duty, that will be considered. Okay. And then it says that, okay, interest received on investment in fixed deposit. Interest on fixed deposit. Do we need to pay the tax? Answer is no. I'm not required to. Interest is 4 lakh rupees. But will it be considered in exempt supply? We have discussed sale of building is considered. But give me the answer. It is exempted in the GST. क्या ये interest वाला part which is exempted will be added for the purpose of reversal of common ITC? Will it be added for the purpose of reversal of common ITC? Again, if you refer the explanation to the rule 43, it says it is being not exempted. It is being excluded from the exempt supply. Excluded from the exempt supply. So it will not exempt. It will not exempt. ठीक है. Development clear है? बड़ा मस्त question है. Very nice question. Then it says that sale of shares. Then it says sale of shares. Will the GST applicable sale of share? Will the GST applicable on the sale of shares? Will the GST be applicable on the sale of shares? No. It is not applicable. What is the value? Now you can say it is 1% of sale consideration. What is the consideration? 2 crore 50 lakhs. 2,50,00,000. So 1% कितना हुआ? 2,50,000. So for the purpose of reversal of common ITC, the amount of exempt supply comes to 1,27,50,000. Do we need to add anything? इसके अलावा भी मुझे कुछ ऐड करना है. फॉर द पर्पज ऑफ सेक्शन 17(3). फॉर द पर्पज ऑफ सेक्शन 17(3), how much is the exempt supply? For the purpose of section 17(3), how much is the exempt supply? Can you tell me? First is sale of share. Absolutely correct. Second is sale of building. Is there any other transaction which is considered as exempt supply? Yes. For the purpose of reversal of common ITC, outward RCM is also exempt supply. Outward RCM is also exempt supply. So the total exempt supply कितना हुआ अभी तक? As of now, I can say 1,33,50,000. Let's move further. Legal services received from an advocate in relation to the product M. What was the product M? Product M was taxable as and also exported. ठीक है, तो ये आपका आरसीएम का ट्रांजेक्शन हो गया. व्हाट इज दैट? लीगल सर्विसेज रिसीव्ड. सो इनवर्ड आरसीएम हाउ मच? 3,50,000. ये इस क्वेश्चन में क्या कहा था इन्होंने? सो सर्विसेज के ऊपर 18, तो वी विल एज्यूम बिकॉज वी विल टेक द रेट ऑफ 18. ठीक है, यहां तक बात क्लियर है? इनवर्ड आरसीएम. नाउ लेट्स मूव फर्दर. इट फर्दर सेज common ITC. Oh, here the beauty is common input and input service used for the supply of the goods and services mentioned above is how much is the common ITC? Common ITC goods कितने का है? 35 लाख का. एंड सर्विसेज कितने की है? दे आर टॉकिंग अबाउट इनपुट एंड इनपुट सर्विस. Common input and input service, they are not talking about the GST component. So we need to calculate the GST component, right? 15 lakh. कितना इसके ऊपर टैक्स होगा? 12% for goods and 18% for services. So the total is 6,90,000. ₹45,00,000. सॉरी एक सेकेंड, ऊपर टर्नओवर 14 लाख will add, correct? Then एक यहां पे लगा 14 लाख. It is taxable? No, it is exempted. Turnover of O, export is taxable and export of service is taxable. Export of consultancy, it is taxable. So the total turnover is 1,90,00,000. Do we have left anything? This has been included. Okay. So मेरा टोटल टर्नओवर कितना आना चाहिए? मेरा टोटल टर्नओवर 1,94,00,000 आना चाहिए. I have left it this 4 lakh. So मुझे ये 4 लाख भी ऐड करना पड़ेगा. देखिए अभी मैंने क्या किया. सी I can calculate in this manner. What is my total outward supply? Total outward supply is 1,94,00,000. How much is the exempted? exempted outward RCM, sale of building to the extent of the turnover of 1% value, and sale of exempted, uh, sale of security 1% we have taken. So this much of the exempt supply and rest are taxable supplies. So total turnover is 1 crore 94 lakh. Common ITC कितना है 690 multiplied by exempt supply, exempt divided by total. So how much amount I need to reverse? 4,74,000 I need to reverse. This is reversal of common ITC. Now eligible ITC is out of common credit. This much is the credit which I need to reverse, and T4 we can say. $278 180 ये क्या है मेरा? ये मेरा कॉमन आईटीसी है, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक क्रेडिट लेजर. सी व्हाट वी हैव कैलकुलेटेड. सो वी हैव गिवन द कॉमन आईटीसी. ठीक है, कॉमन आईटीसी से मैंने क्या किया, मैंने कैलकुलेट किया एंड रिवर्सल निकाला. सो रिवर्सल कितना था? दिस वन इज द रिवर्सल अमाउंट 474. क्या करना है उसके बाद में? वंस आई हैव एक्सक्लूडेड दैट रिवर्सल, दिस बिकम माय एलिजिबल कंपोनेंट. देन I have calculated T4. I have calculated T4 and added the same. Then is this much of the total ITC. यहां तक कोई डाउट? क्वेश्चन बड़ा टफ होता जा रहा है. सो यहां पर क्या हुआ ना, ये कैलकुलेट हो गया. अब लास्ट पार्ट हम कैलकुलेट करते हैं. क्या क्या हमने कैलकुलेट कर लिया? लेट्स से कंप्यूट द नेट जीएसटी लाइबिलिटी. लाइबिलिटी कितनी है वो देखते हैं. व्हाट इज द जीएसटी लाइबिलिटी? So I can say this much is the my total tax liability 3,18,000, and this is my RCM liability. So for making we have how much ITC? Total tax liability, I can say the total tax liability in the forward charge, how much? I can say 3,18,000 less आईटीसी. कितना आईटीसी मेरे पास में? 278. बैलेंस टू बी पेड इन कैश. कितना कैश में पे करना पड़ेगा? 318 माइनस 270. एंड आरसीएम लाइबिलिटी टू बी पेड इन कैश. Why we did not apportion the common credit? टर्नओवर में तो किया है. सी गो बैक. सी दिस इज माय टोटल टर्नओवर. So therefore it become F. What was E? Highlighted portion are E. How I have calculated E? Based on the section 17 subsection 3. So this is my turnover ratio. Na? So E divided by F. So multiplied by C2. So C2 which has been given in the chapter itself, I have multiplied by E divided by F. So I was approaching same methodology, turnover ratio. इसके अलावा कोई मेथड ही नहीं है मेरे पास में. Is it clear na? So I can say that total liability which I need to pay in cash 102,820. काफी लंबा क्वेश्चन, but yes, we have completed. Great. Is it clear? Is it clear? Quickly confirm so that I can move to the one more question. Section question 21. एक क्वेश्चन और करेंगे. 21 को क्वेश्चन को कंप्लीट कर लेते हैं. Is that clear? ITC with RCM available in the same tax period? Yes, Kirti. Yes. In the GST, you can take the ITC in the same tax period. You are, suppose the month of October, we are filing the GST R3B in the month of November 28th. मैं जब 20 तारीख को GSTR 3 भी फाइल करूंगा फॉर द मंथ ऑफ अक्टूबर, आई विल पे द टैक्स अंडर RCM फॉर अक्टूबर। कब पे करूंगा? 20 नवंबर को। स्टिल आई विल टेक द ITC, स्टिल आई विल टेक द ITC इन द सेम अक्टूबर मंथ। बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट पूछा आपने, वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। यू विल टेक द ITC इन द सेम टैक्स पीरियड। सो कैन यू प्लीज एक्सप्लेन 74? अच्छा, T4 में वापस एक्सप्लेन करूं। सी व्हाट इज द टी अच्छा, T4 एक्सप्लेन करना है। सी इन दिस क्वेश्चन regarding the ITC there was no information. They have only given two information. One is inward liability covered under reverse charge 63,000, which is related to the product M, which is related to the product M. And product M, I can say product M I was outward RCM, product N was outward RCM, product N was exempted, product M was fully taxable, on which there is some RCM liability relating to that product. I have some RCM liability, so I can say it is completely for the taxable item. I would be eligible to take full ITC. मोहम्मद अब्दुल, ये वाला पॉइंट T4 क्लियर हुआ ना? Please confirm so that I can solve one case study also. Messrs XYZ, a registered supply the following goods and services for the construction of the building and complex. Okay. Excavator for required period at hourly rate. Manpower for operation of the excavator at per day rate. Soil testing at sample rate. Here we need to see that manpower is being given for the operation of excavator rate. So the main crux or main twist in this question that they are making the following services: maintenance of excavator, health insurance. Sorry. Let me read in same in that pattern only. Excavator are invariably hired out along with operator. So when they are saying along with operator, it means it become composite supply. When they are saying along with operator, it means two or more taxable supplies are being given on the bundled supply, bundled nature, naturally bundled, out of which one is principal. What is the principal? Excavator, which is being rented on hourly basis, and manpower for that operation of excavator, that will be the ancillary supply, and both are taxable at the same tax rate. Okay. Then health insurance for XYZ receive the following services: maintenance excavator full ITC, मिल जाएगा ITC. Health insurance for operator, again we have discussed, if it is mandate requirement as per the law, ITC available. If it is not mandate by law, then no ITC. Scientific and technical consultancy for soil testing, etc. ठीक है. Then they are saying for a given month, the receipt are as follow: higher charges 18 lakh, service charge for supply the manpower for operation 20,000. We can say on both the supply, the same tax rate would apply because it is a composite supply. Service charge for soil testing, individual supply, a respective tax rate. They are saying GST paid during the said month on the services received by XYZ is as under. Maintenance ITC मिल जाएगा. Health insurance ITC नहीं मिलेगा if it is not mandated by law. Scientific and technical consultancy ITC मिल जाएगा. Compute the net GST payable from electronic, how much liability to be paid in electronic cash ledger. Assume the rate are as under. So GST on hiring of excavator is 12%, supply the manpower and soil testing 18%. So normally we can say if I make the individual supply the manpower, the rate is 18. But if it is say the 12% combo, so for it would be 12%. एटीन lakh multiplied by 12%. ठीक है. And supply of manpower, here you need to write because it is a composite supply. Because it is a composite supply, so you will apply the same tax rate on 20,000. ठीक है. Now the third is service charge for soil testing. Service charge for soil testing, 2,50,000. What is the rate? 18%. So how much is the tax liability? The tax liability would be 2,63,400. 2,63,400. ठीक है. Now compute the ITC. Compute the ITC. What was the item? I can say the maintenance of excavator, ITC available, and health insurance. In the absence of the information, I'm assuming it is not mandated by law, so 11,000 का ITC नहीं मिलेगा. ठीक है. And scientific and technical consultancy, you can take the ITC. What is the total ITC? 2 lakh rupees. I can say that 2 lakh is the total ITC, and 2,63,000 is 400 is the liability. So liability to be paid in cash. Simple question. 63,400. But before that, यार आप लोग ना एक चीज का जवाब नहीं दे रहे. एक और मुझे कंफर्म करो, प्लीज कंफर्म करो. इज दैट पैटर्न ऑफ सॉल्विंग द प्रैक्टिकल केस स्टडीज ओके और नॉट ओके? मैंने आपसे 2 बार क्वेश्चन पूछा, यू नॉट हैव गिवन द रिप्लाई. माई हम्बल रिक्वेस्ट टू ऑल द पार्टिसिपेंट, इज दिस वे टू सॉल्व द प्रैक्टिकल केस स्टडी इज ओके और नॉट ओके? बिकॉज अगर ओके नहीं है तो यू टेल मी, आई विल चेंज द मेथड इन विच यू आर एक्सपेक्टिंग. मुझे कंफर्म कीजिए प्रैक्टिकल केस स्टडी, क्योंकि आई हैव द प्रैक्टिकल केस स्टडी इन फर्दर क्लासेस ऑल्सो. देर इज 2-3 डेडिकेटेड क्लासेस in which I will solve the entire practical case study. So मुझे आप बताइए, is that method is okay? Because I need your confirmation or alternate method by which I should go, which is relevant for your preparation or which help you on your preparation. क्योंकि अगर आप मुझे तरीका नहीं बताएंगे, is that okay or not okay, then it will create the problem for you only in future. And in turn it is a problem for me also. अगर आपको कोई एग्जाम, कोई मेथड अगर आपको एग्जाम में हेल्प नहीं करता, देन इट इज ए प्रॉब्लम. देन इट इज ए प्रॉब्लम फॉर मी सर. इट इज ए प्रॉब्लम फॉर मी दोस्त. अगर मैं ये तरीका जो यूज कर रहा हूं, इफ इट इज नॉट बेनिफिशियल फॉर यू इन एग्जाम, देन इट इज ए प्रॉब्लम फॉर मी ऑल्सो. बिकॉज आई नीड all participants to score at least 70 in the IDT. I expect all participants to score at least 70 in the IDT. तो मुझे कंफर्म कीजिए, इज इट ओके, नॉट ओके, अल्टरनेट मेथड. मेरी हम्बल रिक्वेस्ट है सभी पार्टिसिपेंट से, कीर्ति, गीता, विराज, अक्षय आपने मुझे बता ही दिया ऑलरेडी, थैंक यू. मोहम्मद अब्दुल, एवरीवन. Is okay for understanding the provision. Okay. Will it help in your exam to solve the practical case study? अगर एग्जाम में ये 20 मार्क का क्वेश्चन आता है, 10 मार्क का, 15 मार्क का, जो भी क्वेश्चन का पैटर्न है, will you be able to solve in a battle pattern? Is it okay? Or you want something else? You can specify that. Thank you, Akshay. Thank you, Kirti. Anyone? कैन यू सॉल्व? देख, नोटपैड में सॉल्व करने में क्या होता है, कैलकुलेशन नहीं कर सकते। प्रॉब्लम क्या है अब्दुल, मैं सॉल्व तो कर दूंगा नोटपैड में, बट प्रॉब्लम क्या है, आई कैन नॉट डू द कैलकुलेशन प्लस माइनस, उसमें थोड़ा मिस्टेक हो जाएगा। तो इट्स बेटर कि परसेंटेज कैलकुलेट करना, वो सब कैलकुलेट करना। विल यू प्रेफर दैट इफ आई सॉल्व इन द नोटपैड? इज इट preferable if I solve in the notepad or word file, something like that? Will you all prefer? I'm asking. एक्सेल इसलिए यूज कर रहा हूं ताकि परसेंटेज, टोटल, लिंकिंग इजिली हो जाती है। दैट इज द ओनली प्रॉब्लम इन द नोटपैड की होती नहीं है। और उसमें क्या मिस्टेक अगर कैलकुलेशन में होती है ना, तो इट इज वेस्ट टाइम, वेस्टेज। करेक्ट ना, वेस्टेज ऑफ टाइम फॉर टीचिंग, बिकॉज वी हैव द लिमिटेड आवर, बिकॉज 3 आवर का क्लास है, एंड आई हैव टू कंप्लीट मैक्सिमम प्रॉब्लम विच आई कैन कवर। सो दैट इज द रीजन मोहम्मद, दैट इज द ओनली रीजन वाई आई एम यूजिंग द एक्सेल। ठीक है, सो फाइन विद एक्सेल ऑल्सो सर। ठीक है सर, तो थैंक यू वेरी मच। इसी पैटर्न पे हम आगे जो भी क्लासेस मेरे को अलोकेटेड होगी प्रैक्टिकल की, वो मैं इसी तरीके से पढ़ाऊंगा। आई थिंक नेक्स्ट क्लास इज नॉट बाय मी, अभी मेरा सिर्फ इतना ही है। अभी सर मेरे को अलोकेशन देखना पड़ेगा, बट नेक्स्ट चैप्टर बाय सम अदर फैकल्टीज। तो इसी के साथ मेरी तरफ से कंप्लीट है। एंड माय रिक्वेस्ट, ऑलवेज वन रिक्वेस्ट आई मेड, प्लीज कनेक्ट थ्रू मी, प्लीज कनेक्ट थ्रू सोशल मीडिया, लिंक्डइन प्रोफाइल अरुण छाजट, कनेक्ट लिंक्डइन में। जरूर रिक्वेस्ट भेजिएगा। द पर्पज इज सो दैट आई वुड बी अवेयर वेन एवर यू गिव द एग्जाम्स एंड क्लियर योर एग्जाम्स। Only reason, and as repeated always, I'm not providing the teaching at any private platform, so there is no marketing at all. There cannot be any marketing. Okay? So my humble request, please add me in your social media network, that is only LinkedIn. So इसी के साथ आज की क्लास कंप्लीट करते हैं। थैंक यू वेरी मच। विराज, गो विद वन नॉट बेस्ट सॉफ्टवेयर नाउ इट इज इट? मैं देख लेता हूं, मैं देख लूंगा। ठीक है, थैंक यू वेरी मच, गुड नाइट टू ऑल ऑफ यू, एंड अशोक जी, यू कैन वाइंड अप द क्लास।